All right, so I am here at the flea market and I came across these Hess promotional posters. And, normally I just look past anything that's Hess related, and this is modern Hess. You can see there, this is a 1964 to 2004 special. And I started skimming through it, and there were more Hess signs, and no, that's not what I'm interested in. You can see the Hess bag. The point is, don't give up in thinking that it's just Hess stuff. So keep going, keep going, keep going, and as I always say, look to the bottom. And there we go. Nice little shop of horrors off-Broadway poster. Now, this poster, which you can see, it's Orpheum Theater's 2nd Avenue at 8th Street. This is an original cardboard poster. One of these sold for as high as $170 on eBay. The guy's asking $10 for the poster. Now, there's one currently available that I see on eBay right now, or at least the cheapest one is $110. So I'm definitely gonna pick this up, but better than this, look what I'm gonna show behind. Another one. There's two of them. Now this one's not as bright and there's a little chipping there up top, but somebody could trim that if they want to. But I'm gonna pick both of these up for 10 bucks a piece. I am beyond thrilled to find this. And I know Jessie Shops, who's watching this, she's a big Little Shop of Horrors fan. If you are as well, let me know, but I'm super excited to grab these. What a find. All right, so here's something else at the same vendor's booth where I got the Little Shop of Horrors posters. They're these interesting legislative manuals. Now, I've talked about things like this before, but more in the context of federal books with federal legislation, like Congress books, U.S. Congress, U.S. Senate, and have done very well with those. But these, as you can see, are specific to New York State, and they're really small. They're in great shape, though, and they're pretty neat because they have these little pull-out sections in them. So I'll show you one of them. Each one of these books has something like that. I'll show you kind of what it looks like. It's really neat. Like, look at this. It shows the seating area of the Senate chamber in 1929. It's really cool. Collectors love that, so you always want to show off something like that in a listing. So here we've got 6 of them. So we've got 1929. I'm gonna move this to the side so I could show this a little bit better. So we've got 1929, we've got 1928, we have 1926, so these go back pretty early. Then we've got 1932, 1931, and 1930. So he wants $20 for the entire set. So I am definitely going to pick that up. There's someone who has 8 of them for sale right now for $115, but those go up to the 1940s, so they're not quite as early as this lot is. And look at this. How cool is that? It has these nice maps inside, and there's just so much cool information. Someone is doing some legal research. This could really be helpful for them to have something like this. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick this up and list it for minimum of $100. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but these do sell. They'll sell even individually, and just look for them for your state as well, wherever you live. A lot of people pass these things up because they look super boring, but they do sell, and that's the key. All right, so I'm at the same vendor where I picked up the books and the Little Shop of Horrors posters, and I came across this really cool vintage supermarket clock. It's made out of cardboard. It is adjustable. Those flaps go in a bit, and what's really cool for a collector is that we have the hands that are still on the clock, and let's see. Oh good, we could set a time on it. I was worried it was just gonna flip over and keep going down, but that's even extra awesome for a collector because it's modifiable. So I love that. I'm not sure what this came from, if this was something that came out of like a play set from the 1950s or something. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments section, or if it was just something promotional, because this looks like, you know, something you would see in a promo item that, you know, went out to a store. You know, I used to work for different stores, and you know, we used to get promotional displays like this all the time that we had to put out. So I'm not entirely sure, but the guy wants $15 for this, and I'm definitely gonna pick that up. So let's look at the other side of it. Oh, there we go. It's got the little metal tie here that puts it together. Really cool. I love the age on it. So yeah, I'm gonna get it for the 15 bucks, and you know, I'm not sure exactly what I'll price it for, but I'll show you in the video. All right, how many of you remember this character right here? Herself the Elf. She was created by American Greetings in the 1980s to help sell their cards and to market to young girls. Has some similarities to Strawberry Shortcake, although not as long-lived as that series. But these here, what you're looking at, are original color illustrations from the book Sing Out Spring in 1983 that featured Herself the Elf and her many friends, sometimes fairy friends and sometimes some of her friends from the forest. So they're really bright and colorful. They are ink and watercolor. They are individually numbered, so you could see there's number 2, there's number 1, for example, and some of them are signed by the artist John Costanza. So I originally picked up 12 of these at an online comic art auction for $160, and my strategy was to break them up individually. And I previously sold 4 of these to separate buyers for between $75 and $100 a piece. So I've already made my money back and then some at the point of this sale, and all 4 of these went to the same buyer for $80 a piece. So $80 for this one, $80 for this one, $80 for this one, and $80 for this one. So that's $320 right there, and I have 4 more left to go. So I'm sharing this with you because it's a fun bulk sale. I love comic art and just animation art. It's just a lot of fun, especially stuff from the 1980s like this. It's just really cool. So it's just also something to give you a strategy on how you could get some stuff online. You might have to pay up a little bit for it, but if you have a strategy like I just shared with you, that could be something you could use to really maximize your profit by breaking up a lot like this and piecing it out individually. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight these, and I hope you enjoy them, and if it brings back some memories for you, let me know in the comment section. All right, so here's something to be on the lookout for when you are out doing your garage sale treasure hunting. This is the G.I. Joe hydrofoil ship. It's going to bring back a lot of memories for G.I. Joe collectors and toy collectors, especially those who grew up in the 80s, because this bad boy came out in 1985. Look how cool this thing is. As you can see, there are lots of small parts here that can fall off, get lost, and make it a challenge for the collector to find a complete one. Now, this one is near complete. There are a few little things missing, but that's why if you come across certain parts from this toy, you could just sell certain parts like the missiles and stuff. In fact, so I don't lose other missiles, I have some more inside in a plastic bag because I don't want them, you know, falling out and dropping and stuff, and then, you know, I wouldn't be able to find them. So really cool piece. A lot of times you'll see this in toy shows and they'll want probably over $100 for it. So it's going to be tough to source in a place like that. You really got to try to find it, you know, at a garage sale, or maybe if you do something like I do, which is to buy out toy collections. But then, you know, you're paying up for the big collection, and this was something that wound up being part of it. I've already made my money back from that toy collection. I actually got this a while ago, and it has been sitting around. It finally sold for $150, which is definitely fair market value for this. And you know, we're gonna pack it up and have it be on its way. But I just wanted to, you know, show this off. You know, those are who are familiar with it already know, but if you're not, you know, this could just be something to imprint in your memory to be on the lookout for. All right, so here's an update on something that you saw me source at the flea market. I will put a link to the video and the thumbnail image on the screen for you. You should go check it out because you'll see these in much more detail, how I discovered them, how I made a really great deal for these. Got this whole stack of 70 for $20. That was not the original price, but I eventually got them for 20 bucks. And you'll also see in that video an interesting connection that, you know, never happened to me before in terms of who owned these previously. But of this lot of 70, there are 57 gas engine magazines, and obviously the theme here are gas engine powered vehicles. And they come from 1966 to 1977. 13 of them are the Iron Man album magazines, so I'm trying not to show the address label on here. But there were 9 duplicates in here as well, and I just threw them in there. But what really helped sell these is that we have the #1 issue of Gas Engine magazine. That really is the key here. And then also #2, and I have them in order here. Look at that, #3. I mean, it's crazy. So #4 keeps going and going and going. So I was able to sell this lot for $125. $125. I had listed them for $150. Someone gave me an offer of $100, met them halfway. I'm very happy, $125 on this pickup. So we're gonna pack them up and move them out. All right, let's take a look over here. Look at this bad boy. This was something I got at an estate sale. You might remember it from one of my videos. I sourced it for $10. It was really dusty up top, and I cleaned it up nicely, and I showed in the picture, you know, lighting up and everything. It's a nice vintage receiver, cassette player. You've got the 8-track here as well. I mean, this is a really nice piece. It's made by Sound Design, and there are a lot of people interested in sound design receivers like this. Cassette recorder, 8-track player, and this is a nice piece, AM, FM. This had 37 watchers on it. Ultimately, I sold it for $150. So, you know, it's time to, you know, move it on to its, rightful owner. And I hope that they get many years of enjoyment out of it. So time to pack this one up, but be on the lookout for these. And they're pretty easy to ship too. You just got to find, a box to put that in, and you're all set. Just, protect it nice. All right, we have a huge sale right here on the Primetime bookshelf, a complete 3-volume set. You will not believe what this set just sold for. Let me take it out and I'll give you some more detail and the sold price. All right, well, here it is, the complete 3-volume set of Magnus Robot Fighter 4000 AD. These are hardcover laminated books. The lamination was put on here by the collector who owned these books to protect the underlying cover from getting damaged. And that's a great selling point for my buyer, who paid $225 for these 3 books, partly because of the condition, partly because of the scarcity, the difficulty finding all 3 of these together. Even if you see these individually, they sell for good money. This came as part of a big lot of mostly hardcover comics that I picked up recently. And I paid for several boxes worth of stuff, $120 for everything. And this is just a tiny part of what I picked up. So, you know, it might shock you, but Magnus Robot Fighter 4000 AD is about a guy named Magnus who fights robots in the year 4000 AD. So there's no mystery of what this is about, as you could tell from these really cool covers, but it's very popular. It started in 1963 as one of the books sold by Gold Key. And so these are collected volumes, and it's clearly a desirable set. So if you ever see it out there in the wild, definitely look for Magnus Robot Fighter 4000 AD. All right, let's head over to our book stack again, and we're going to zoom into this book here, which says The Incredible Hulk by Stan Lee. And there's something real important about this book that just led it to sell for what it sold for. So let me pull this one out of here and we'll dive into it. All right, look at that cover. How amazing is that? Beautiful book from 1978. And these older Marvel comic compilation books can be pretty valuable. I'm going to turn this over on the back, and I'm going to show you something to be on the lookout for. Fireside book. If you find Marvel comic compilation books like this from the 70s that say Fireside book on it, definitely look into picking it up. You want to put that actually in your title, because people will search for that. This book, even though it was $7.95 back in the day, just sold for $62.50. This one I happened to pick up in a big collection of other comic related books, but I have seen this one and picked it up before at estate sales. You'll sometimes see it laying around. Check out the inside. The condition also helps sell this book. The obviously focus of it, The Incredible Hulk, helps as well. And another key thing is that this book happens to be a first printing. So be on the lookout for these types of books. They are very popular. And there's other Fireside books available as well. So this isn't the only one, but keep a lookout. Oh, and as you can see, it also says Fireside on the bottom of the book. So that's another way to quickly find it on bookshelves if the words The Incredible Hulk isn't enough of a clue. All right, we're gonna head back into comic book land and take this lid off and show you something very interesting that's sold. We've got to dig back here a little bit. These are all comics that are listed in my eBay store right now, including this complete set of RoboCop, but we'll probably get into that another day. The one I want to focus on right now is this series. Now, this is another complete set. It's the complete set of a 6-issue storyline called Spider-Man Blue. So that's issue 1. This is issue 2. Now, this cover is the clue as to why this complete set just sold for $50. And this just came as part of a big Spider-Man collection that I purchased. So This is issue 4, issue 5, and issue 6, and they're all in near mint condition. So this set sold in mid-January. What holiday is coming up soon? Valentine's Day. And that is the theme of this particular set. Believe it or not, this is a love story. It's a Spider-Man love story with Spider-Man and Mary Jane, the lovely redhead right there. And, you know, Spider-Man is feeling blue, hence the name of the title. So certain sets are going to sell better near the holidays, and this is just another example. If you remember, the other one that I showed before was the one, A Date with Judy. So, which had all the hearts on the cover. So pay attention. Certain comic books, you could theme them related to certain holidays, and they'll sell better. Christmas is another example. There's some Christmas-related comic books that I sell well also. So it's just a strategy that you could use to make some nice comic flips. So we're going to pack this one up and get it on its way in time for Valentine's Day. All right, everyone. So we're going to head back to Primetime Treasure headquarters. And you know what I'm thinking? I want to show you what Daisy is like first thing in the morning when she wakes up, comes downstairs, and starts her security duty. So let's take you over to Daisy. Good morning, Daisy. How are you? I don't think I've ever showed this before, but this is where Daisy goes first thing in the morning when she starts her watching the treasure duties. So she goes right outside to this window area here, and she checks out to see if there's been any signs of intruders, particularly squirrels and bunny rabbits. Right, Daisy? Now you might wonder what happens at nighttime when she's not here to guard the treasures, but that's where she uses her plush stuffed animals as reinforcements. So in the morning they go down here, but at nighttime it's kind of like Toy Story, and they all line the windows to look outside. Right, Daisy? So yeah, you can see she is alert. She's like an owl right now. So, all right, well, let us know what your favorite item was today that I picked up at the flea market. A few good ones there in the beginning, and some really interesting sales. That's another thing Daisy will do. She'll look for anyone walking by. You kind of see in the distance someone walking there in a green. And sometimes, if they're close enough, she'll go after them. She'll really start barking. But yeah, some really good sales too. My favorite one was the herself, the elf ones. I really love those. So let me know what your favorite sale was as well. So I always like seeing your comments, and we'll see you back in the next one, everyone. Take care.